I bet you didn't know that by the time you're 80, your muscle mass has likely decreased by half compared to your younger years. Sarcopenia, a devastating condition, robs millions of seniors of their independence worldwide. It affects over 50 million older adults, and falls due to weakened muscles send more than 300,000 elderly individuals to the hospital annually. Here's the surprising part. Research published in the Journal of Physiology challenges the notion that severe muscle loss is inevitable. Some people in their 70s exhibit the strength, function, and even appearance of those decades younger, while most of their peers struggle with basic tasks like standing from a chair or climbing stairs. These individuals maintain full independence into their 90s, often surpassing people half their age in strength tests. They continue climbing mountains and playing sports. If you found this intriguing, and subscribe for more educational health content. So, what's their secret? Shockingly, 93% of seniors are unaware of the habits that can significantly delay or even reverse age-related muscle loss. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic have identified these habits, yet most doctors fail to inform their elderly patients about the single most critical practice for rebuilding muscle mass well into their 70s and 80s. According to Harvard Medical School researchers, what science proves essential for preserving strength as we age often contradicts common medical advice. Keep watching, as the first habit is likely something you're doing incorrectly every day. This common mistake accelerates muscle atrophy by activating genes that would otherwise remain dormant. Correcting this one behavior could determine whether you enjoy your golden years independently or rely on others for help. Like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Also, share in the comments where you're watching from. Let's dive in. Habit 7. Hormetic stress. One of the most counterintuitive practices of exceptionally strong 80-year-olds is embracing hormetic stressors, specific types of stress that benefit the body. Hormesis refers to the phenomenon where substances toxic in high doses provide positive effects in small amounts. As the saying goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, especially for muscles. Studies from the Buck Institute for Research on Aging show that brief exposure to certain stressors activates cellular defense mechanisms, preserving and even enhancing muscle function and growth well into the 80s. The primary hormetic stressor used by super-agers is temperature variation. This activates brown fat, boosts mitochondrial biogenesis, and triggers adiponectin, a hormone that protects muscle tissue from breakdown. Short cold exposures, like finishing showers with 30–60 seconds of cold water or brief cold plunges, are highly effective. Similarly, saunas and hot tubs activate heat shock proteins that shield and repair muscle cells. A Finnish study found that 10 years of regular sauna, used 4–7 times weekly, was linked to 40% less muscle loss compared to non-users. The second hormetic stressor is intermittent fasting or eating within a strict time window. To enhance muscle quality and stimulate autophagy, the cellular cleansing process, super-agers limit food intake to an 8–10 hour daily window without losing weight. Research from the Salk Institute shows this method improves mitochondrial activity in muscles by up to 10% in just 12 weeks. The third hormetic stressor involves brief, intense muscle contractions. Super-agers practice overcoming isometrics, pushing or pulling against immovable objects at maximum effort for 5–10 seconds. These short, powerful contractions signal muscle cells to stay large and active without overly stressing joints. The intermittent nature of these stressors is key. They must be brief and followed by ample recovery time. When applied correctly, these controlled stresses activate longevity genes like FOXOS and sirtuins, which help preserve muscle mass as we age. Start these habits gradually to build tolerance, aiming for gentle, beneficial stress without overwhelming your system. Habit 6. Strategic protein timing. While protein intake is critical for seniors, research suggests the timing of protein consumption is even more important. Scientists call the age-related decline in protein utilization anabolic resistance. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that, contrary to popular belief, seniors shouldn't consume all their protein in one meal, but should spread it throughout the day. Here's why. A 3-4 hour window of opportunity for muscle protein synthesis opens after each meal. Most seniors are by getting most of their protein at dinner, missing out on muscle building opportunities earlier in the day. The optimal approach is to distribute meals evenly, aiming for 25-30 grams of high-quality protein per meal. Swap cereal or toast for breakfast. Options like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie. Continue with lean meats, fish, dairy, or plant-based proteins like lentils and beans for lunch and dinner. Compared to consuming the same protein amount in fewer meals, this timing strategy can boost muscle protein synthesis by up to 25%. In a 12-week University of Texas study, participants following this method gained an average of 1.2 pounds of muscle without changing other lifestyle factors. To prevent muscle wasting, it's not just about eating protein, it's about when you eat it. Habit 5. Optimizing vitamin D levels. Did you know that over 80% of seniors are deficient in the muscle vitamin? Vitamin D deficiency is a silent strength killer among older adults. Beyond supporting bones, vitamin D activates genes involved in muscle building and synthesis, as discovered by Harvard University researchers. Muscle cells have vitamin D receptors that, when activated, trigger processes essential for maintaining muscle mass. A groundbreaking study in JAMA Internal Medicine showed that seniors with optimal vitamin D levels had 25% greater muscle strength than those with deficient levels. They also demonstrated improved reaction time, coordination, and balance, key factors in preventing falls. Deficiency is defined as levels below 20 ng/mol, while super-agers typically maintain levels above 40 ng/mol. How can you optimize vitamin D? While sunlight helps, its efficacy declines with age, as the skin's vitamin D production drops by 50% from age 20 to 65. The standard 600 IU daily recommendation is often insufficient for seniors, with research suggesting 2,000-4,000 IU daily to reach optimal levels, adjusted based on blood tests. Include vitamin D-rich foods like fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy, and aim for 15-20 minutes of midday sun exposure when possible. A caution: high-dose vitamin D supplementation without adequate vitamin K2 found in fermented foods and certain animal products can lead to arterial calcification, as K2 directs calcium to bones. This critical nutrient interaction is often overlooked but vital for success. Consult your doctor for a blood test to determine your vitamin D needs and maintain levels above 40 ng/mol to protect your muscles. Habit 4. Managing daily inflammation. What do exceptionally strong seniors have in common? Remarkably low inflammation levels. Researchers now recognize inflammaging chronic, low-grade inflammation as a primary driver of muscle loss in older adults. The silent inflammation breaks down muscle protein faster than the body can rebuild it, and impairs anabolic signals that promote muscle growth from exercise and protein intake. A landmark Tufts University study found that seniors with the highest inflammatory markers lost muscle mass 3 times faster than those with the lowest, regardless of diet or exercise. Super-agers employ specific anti-inflammatory strategies that most seniors overlook. First, they prioritize quality sleep, maintaining consistent bedtimes and sleeping in a completely dark room. Poor sleep can increase inflammatory cytokines by up to 40, accelerating muscle loss. Super-agers consume diverse plant foods, 30+ varieties weekly, fermented foods, yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and ample fiber daily. Second, they focus on gut health, as age-related changes in gut flora drive systemic inflammation, per University of California research. Third, they strategically plan workout intensity. While regular movement is essential, excessive intense exercise can worsen inflammation in seniors. Super-agers engage in moderate activity most days, with brief high-intensity intervals once or twice weekly. Finally, they regularly consume anti-inflammatory compounds like omega-3 fatty acids to 3 grams daily from fish or supplements. Curcumin, turmeric, and polyphenol-rich foods, blueberries, green tea, extra virgin olive oil. University of California research shows that age-related gut bacteria shifts can increase inflammatory markers by 29% in just 12 weeks. Monitor inflammation with a simple blood test for high-sensitivity C-reactive protein H's CAR-P. Super-agers keep levels below 1.0 mg per liter, compared to typical seniors with levels 3 to 5 times higher. Habit 3. Taking targeted micronutrients daily. While dietary guidelines often focus on macronutrients like protein, carbohydrates, and fats, super-agers with exceptional strength prioritize specific micronutrients that support protein synthesis and muscle function. These nutrients act as catalysts. Without them, no amount of protein or exercise can fully prevent muscle loss. Magnesium, dubbed the forgotten electrolyte for muscle health by University of Vermont researchers, takes precedence. Essential for over 300 enzymatic reactions, it's deficient in over 70% of seniors. A 2021 American Journal of Clinical Nutrition study found that seniors with adequate magnesium had 30% stronger grip strength and better physical performance than those with low levels. Super-agers consume magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate daily, often supplementing with bioavailable forms like glycinate or threonate. Next is creatine, not just for young bodybuilders. A 2015 McMaster University study showed that creatine supplementation significantly improved muscle mass, strength, and cognitive function in older adults compared to strength training alone. A daily 3-5 gram dose enhances muscle energy production and cell hydration, creating an anabolic environment. Methylated B12 methylcobalamin is another critical nutrient. Aging reduces stomach acid, impairing B12 absorption, and medications like proton pump inhibitors and metformin further deplete it. B12 deficiency affects muscle energy production and nerve function. Super-agers opt for methylcobalamin over cheaper cyanocobalamin found in most multivitamins. Trace minerals like zinc, selenium, and chromium also play key roles in protein synthesis and insulin sensitivity, aiding nutrient delivery to muscles. A Tufts University study linked optimal levels of these minerals to a 22% increase in muscle mass maintenance over 5 years. Super-agers use micronutrient testing to identify deficiencies and supplement precisely, avoiding generic multivitamins. This tailored approach maximizes efficacy and minimizes unnecessary costs. Habit 2. Preserving neuromuscular connections. Here's a fact most seniors don't know. Muscle atrophy affects more than just muscle fibers. It impacts the neuromuscular junctions, the outlets connecting your nervous system to your muscles. These junctions degenerate rapidly after age 60, and no amount of protein or exercise can compensate if the brain-muscle connection weakens. Remarkably, super-agers have far stronger neuromuscular connections than their peers, according to University of Michigan research. Even more exciting, specific habits can preserve or even restore these vital links. First, super-agers practice activities requiring precise coordination like tai chi, dancing, tennis, or ping pong. These enhance brain-to-muscle pathways more effectively than walking or standard strength training. A 2020 study showed that seniors engaging in coordination-focused activities twice weekly preserved neuromuscular connections 31% better than those doing conventional exercise. Second, they use compounds that support neuromuscular health. Alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl L-carnitine protect against oxidative damage to nerve-muscle connections. Certain B1 forms benfotiamine and huperzine from Chinese club moss boost acetylcholine, the primary neurotransmitter for muscle activation. Third, super-agers stimulate the vagus nerve through breathing techniques like box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Just 5 minutes daily can increase neural muscle activation by up to 15%. Finally, mental stimulation preserves neuromuscular connections. A Columbia University study found that seniors regularly engaging in challenging cognitive activities had better muscle function. As the brain and neuromuscular system share neural pathways, By adopting these practices, super-agers maintain efficient muscle fiber recruitment into their 80s and beyond. Habit 1. Progressive resistance training. The most critical habit distinguishing exceptionally strong 80-year-olds is what Tufts University experts call the most powerful anti-aging tool: progressive resistance training. Unlike most seniors, super-agers use targeted resistance programs to combat muscle atrophy. Muscles operate on a use it or lose it principle, but maintaining them requires progressively challenging them. Walking, water aerobics, or lifting the same light weights weekly won't suffice after age 60. How do super-agers differ? First, they prioritize intensity over duration. McMaster University research showed that 2 weeks of high-intensity resistance training to failure yielded greater muscle gains in seniors than 5 weeks of moderate exercise. Reaching transient muscle failure, where another rep with proper form is impossible, triggers protein synthesis for up to 72 hours post-workout. Second, they focus on compound movements: squats, deadlifts, rows, pushes, pulls that engage multiple muscle groups. Adapted for mobility and joint health, these elicit stronger hormonal responses than isolated exercises like bicep curls. Third, they employ progressive overload, gradually increasing difficulty to avoid stagnation. Super-agers track workouts and incrementally challenge themselves. Fourth, they emphasize eccentric lowering phases of exercises, which maximize muscle strengthening with less joint stress. A University of Alabama study found that a 12-week progressive resistance program increased strength by 35% and added 3.3 pounds of muscle in older adults, alongside improvements in cognition, bone density, and blood sugar control. The biggest mistake seniors make? Believing resistance training is too risky or outdated. In reality, avoiding it heightens risks of frailty, falls, and dependency. If you adopt only one habit from this video, start progressive resistance training. Consult a trainer to ensure proper form, then build intensity suited to your fitness level. Just 2 30-minute sessions weekly can profoundly impact how you age. These 7 research-backed habits explain the remarkable strength some 80-year-olds maintain. Start with one habit today and gradually incorporate others. Investing in your strength now will pay dividends in independence later. Now, it's your turn. Are you practicing any of these habits? Which surprised you most? Do you know a senior with exceptional strength for their age? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. Thank you for watching.